Hey everyone, welcome to another video about Oreo and his training. It's been a while since I made a video and a lot has happened with Oreo since then. I have sent him to a really great young fella outside of Ellensburg, Washington, which is a short 2.5 hours from my house, so I'm able to visit him. Dalton Duncan is a trainer who came really highly recommended by a few friends of mine who live in that area. And I have been really happy with the progress that he and Oreo are making. Dalton's expertise is in breaking and training young horses, and he really does focus on an emphasis with working with cows. But I love his approach to training Oreo has been super logical to me. He's also an extremely kind person, which was very, very, very important in my selection. I think Oreo's a kind of a tender-hearted horse who tries his guts out, but just runs into his own mental roadblocks now and then. So you're seeing him here work with the flag and just getting him to be just a little bit less sensitive to it, moving it around, and your basic flag work, pressure on, pressure release. And Oreo has continued to work with the flag for different purposes, as the weeks have gone on.
Right.
Oreo has a pretty clear flight response when he gets a little scared and worried. And that flight response also triggers into the bucking. And one of the things I like about Dalton is that he immediately recognized that when Oreo can't see something with both sides of his eyes, that's when he kind of shuts down and gets worried. So
Yep.
he's been really, really conscientious about helping Oreo turn both eyes on him and get used to things on the offside and gain confidence that way. So this next step was really new to me, which is using the Lariat to help desensitize Oreo and get him comfortable. And truly, there's no difference between how he uses the Lariat and how he uses the flag. When Oreo turns both eyes on him, he releases the pressure and drops the rope. When Oreo kind of goes off like he does and gets worried, he continues the pressure, which is just the rope swinging around making a clear noise. And as soon as his eyes turn on Dalton, he drops the rope. And so through that, Oreo is learning how to find kind of his own release within himself. Now you're going to see Dalton step towards Oreo and use the Lariat as an indicator for him to move his feet. And that's really important because you want the horse to recognize when something is an aid and when it's not an aid and they should ignore it. So through this work, it's just exactly like the flag, that he can determine what is for him and what is not for him. And Chris started this process, like 2 videos ago. And so I think it's progressed to this state really nicely.
Yes.
Well, if just swinging lariat was new to me, using it to rope the horse was actually very, very new to me. That's not something I've ever done before. But the situation here is the Hondo, which is the loop that goes around his neck, and it's a little connector. It's a quick release Hondo, so that means that it can't go tight and then stay tight. It's a stainless steel little loop that kind of slides really easily along the lariat. So in no point is Oreo in danger of being choked or something like that. He uses this just exactly like a halter. So it's the same pressure and the same release. And it's just getting Oreo to kind of learn to follow the feel and just learning a whole new set of skills with this. So maybe there's some of you out there that are thinking, okay, this is supposed to be a 3-day event horse, and why is this sort of technique maybe important? And I would say it's just one of the many things that a nice broke horse should be able to kind of cope with. That there's things that make noise, there's things that don't make noise, there's things that are stiff, that put pressure on you, and there's things that are not stiff, or whatever it is. We expect our horses to kind of live in our human world and be very amenable to what we do to them, and Oreo has proven to be a little worried about that. So in my view, anything that we can do to help him kindly view us as not predators, but as people who are kind of helping him find a nice soft release and a softening of his neck and breathing, that's a good positive thing. So now he's going to use the lariat in a way similar that I would use like a lunge line. That when I'm working my horses, long lining them, I do these little turning tricks where I want the horse to feel the pressure on their hindquarters, and Oreo turns into that pressure because he's a little bit unsure about it, and there he spins out of it and finds the release. And the rope is it's nice because it doesn't bind up on the horse. It's a little bit stiff and sliding, so I actually think it's a little bit better to work with than, say, a lunge line for this stuff. So you can see Oreo kind of feeling that little tension on his rear end here, and Dalton is just giving him the time to figure out how to do that, how to spin away, push off the rope, and find a place to be in the middle. So here Dalton is now using the rope around his rib cage to kind of simulate the saddle. And this is similar to like what you do with flag work, that you're trying to help him kind of get used to a little bit of pressure and then take it off. And if you look at the rope, it's super loose, but Oreo can't see it. And so he's reacting to just that feeling around that place that's really uncomfortable for him. And through a lot of repetition and just that release where he finds a way to stop his feet and take a breath, that Oreo is getting more and more comfortable with the idea of a saddle and a girth. Like all things associated with horses, this is a very long and slow process. Every tiny little step builds on the previous little step. And fortunately, I'm not paying Dalton by the hour because he puts in a lot of long and slow time with him. And you don't end up with a hot, sweaty horse. It's just long and slow. So I'm going to end this video with Dalton working Oreo off of another horse. And if you remember from a previous video here at my house, that happened with my friend Chris and her horse Quinn. And so that's something that that Oreo is used to. And I look forward to making the next video because there has been a lot of steps forward. Thanks so much for watching.